Welcome to Let's Talk Red Hill, your source for the latest updates and insights on the Navy's progress at the Red Hill Bulk Fuel Storage Facility. This podcast is dedicated to keeping you informed, addressing your concerns, and sharing progress straight from the experts leading the way.
Hey everyone, I'm Hannah Lehman.
And I'm Rear Admiral Mark Williams. Welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Red Hill.
Today we're going to talk about a few topics that have been in the local media recently, or some FAQs, and we've seen some media coverage about the three Department of Defense, DoD, Inspector General, IG reports. So can you tell us a little bit about what those reports cover and what that means for us here at the Navy?
Sure. So all three DoD IG reports were retrospective in nature. So they're looking at events early 2022 and older. And the first report covered the management of the defense fuel supply point here at Pearl Harbor Hickam. The second report was looking at the contamination of the Joint Base's just water distribution system in the wake of the November 21 spill. And then the third one looked at concerns involving AFFF, aqueous film forming foam, here at the Joint Base. In all three, really the reports identified and were in full alignment with past Navy investigations. And then supported the corrective actions that have been taken and will be continued to move forward with as we go forward.
That's good to know the Navy has already executed and is continuously progressing with its corrective actions. And kind of switching to talk a little bit more EPA focused, the EPA recently released its findings from their inspection on the JBPHH drinking water system under the Safe Drinking Water Act. And we noticed there were several observations concerning risk and resiliency. So what is system resiliency and what does that kind of mean here for us at the Navy?
Sure. So the inspection they conducted back in June was a routine inspection as part of the Safe Drinking Water Act. The first thing it did was it identified or assured us that our system does continue to meet all state and federal environmental drinking water statutes and regulations. With regards to risk and resiliency, drinking water systems, much like electrical or other things, are considered critical infrastructure as they're vulnerable to things like terrorism, sabotage, natural disasters, earthquakes, cyber threats, power outages, et cetera. And it's imperative that in any of these critical infrastructure items, areas, you have redundancy and you have resiliency. So you have the ability to, you're not a single point of failure kind of scenario. And in our instance, what the EPA inspection highlighted was the fact that and what we've known and what we're working to solve for, which is we are currently a single point of failure. We have a single water source, the Waiba shaft, as the Red Hill shaft and the Navy IAEA Halava shafts were taken offline post the November 21 spill and have remained offline since, although we do have plans to reactivate those in an effort to bring that resiliency and that redundancy back. Okay,
and when we are at that point and we're looking at reactivating some of those wells, will the public be informed? How will they be informed? And can we also say that drinking water will be safe?
Yeah, so one, we have continued to test those wells throughout, even though they've been offline and they've continued to meet the drinking water standards. With regards to openly communicating, we've started talking about it at FTAC. We've talked about it at Open the House. We'll continue to proactively talk about the plans and the approach to which we're going to reactivate both those shafts. Prior to connecting either shaft, we will put treatment in place preemptively as an additional precaution, and we're doing that today. That's underway already at the Navy IAEA Halava shaft, where we're putting a GAC filtration system in.
Okay, that's awesome. GAC probably stands for something. Can you let us know what that means?
Stands for? GAC system is a granular activated carbon filtration system. They are highly effective at they're commonly used in water municipalities, and they're highly effective at treating things like pesticides, herbicides, volatile organic compounds, et cetera. What we are doing in addition to the sort of the normal GAC process is also adding an additional treatment capability to treat for PFAS again, preemptively as we look forward towards the 2029 requirements per the EPA directive.
Okay, I believe we've talked about then two of the three wells. I think the one we haven't really chatted too much about is Red Hill. So if and there are any, or what if any are those plans for that to be reactivated?
Yeah, so folks may hear us use the term P716, which is a military construction number designator. That is our long-term plan for the reactivation of the Red Hill shaft. So P716 is a water treatment facility capable of producing about 10 million gallons of treated water that would be added to our system. pumped out of the Red Hill shaft, run through this treatment facility that would be built. Two-prong approach there, are two simultaneous things happening. One is we have submitted a design to the Department of Health. Per the emergency order, we are required to get the Department of Health's approval prior to installation or operation. So they have the design for consideration and approval. And then the second thing is we're working through the appropriation process with Congress to obtain the funding in order to pay for the construction of that facility. We expect to be able to award that contract late in 2025. Break ground at some point in 2026 with the goal of being operational by 2028.
Okay, that sounds great. It'll be here before we know it. And kind of talking still about what's going on right now. We've got tank cleaning going on. And another common question we get is about the disposal of the water that is used for cleaning those tanks. Where's that water going?
Yeah, so all the rinsate from the cleaning, right? We treat it like fuel from an oversight and containment standpoint, to ensure that no drop hits the ground. All of that is captured. It is taken to a treatment facility, a DOH permitted treatment facility here on island. That which cannot be treated at that location will be sent CONUS to an EPA permitted facility for ultimate final disposal.
Oh, okay. CONUS is probably another acronym.
Yeah. So back to the mainland, somewhere back, most likely somewhere on the West Coast, where it will go with one, again, EPA permitted facility.
Okay, great and exciting. We had an open house here at NCTF a few weeks back. Can you fill the audience in, or maybe those who missed the open house or weren't able to attend this time, on what we kind of covered at that open house, and if they are interested in coming next time, how do they find out about that?
Sure. So the focus, we do different themes at different open houses. This one was really on the environment and the remediation efforts that are ongoing. We do them quarterly. Great opportunities to interact with the subject matter experts who are executing this mission day in, day out. We've got lots of different different material that people can look and touch and see. Some of that which is available on the website as well as now on the app. You can go see what was presented at the open house. The next one will be most likely sometime mid to late February of the new year. And still the theme on that one has yet to be determined. But again, I'll press it. It is a great opportunity to interact with the folks that are doing this mission day in, day out.
That's awesome. And kind of wrapping it up here, we've been talking about it this whole podcast. Let's just finalize our chat on transparency. How is the Navy keeping the public informed?
Sure. So obviously, website and the app are great resources. And the key thing there is there's always confusion about the term redaction. There are certain things that we are legally required to redact from various reports and publications that we release. The important thing is all of our laboratory data, all the sampling data, is available on the Safe Waters website. None of that is redacted. The only thing that's really redacted is maybe a physical geolocation of a groundwater monitoring well. But the actual results from that well, any of the laboratory results they're all available, readily available for both drinking water as well as groundwater. So we will continue to redact as minimally as we possibly can, but there is a legal requirement for us to do so, and we must abide by that. But other than that, we're going to continue to push information out the best we can.
Well, that's awesome, and thank you for helping us get those updates out to the public.
To our audience, thank you for tuning in. We'll see you next time on Let's Talk Red Hill.
Mahalo for listening to Let's Talk Red Hill. Stay tuned for our next episode, and be sure to subscribe to stay up to date. Be sure to download the mobile app by searching NCTF Red Hill in the Apple Store or Google Play.